Good morning, everybody. How is everyone today? I'm going to do a quick little tutorial video today on pearl knotting. I'll show you a couple of different kinds of knotters that I use, and then the project I'm making today is actually using this, and I can't tell if it's focusing on this or not. I'm sorry. Okay, well, so I'm going to use this tool today. This is a simple, really portable pearl knotter. It has an awl and a little fork, and it's on a spring, so handy dandy to use. And if I do that, does it focus better? So we're going to use this today. Let me grab this. So pearl knotting, whether it's using a pearl or a bead, it's the same thing. A bead is a pearl and a pearl is a bead. Bead refers to not necessarily shape, but something that is drilled through. So it can be a square-shaped bead, but it has a hole drilled through it so that you can string it like this. Is that going to focus on there? Maybe if I do that, it'll focus on that, right? Whee! So you'll hear me use pearl and bead interchangeably. These are check glass pearls, but they're beads. And these are some crystal beads. So this is a piece I just knotted up. And pearl knotting is the technique. That's how we refer to it. Whether you're using a gemstone bead, check glass, glass pearls, natural pearls, crystal, anything. This is the art of pearl knotting, and I think it's not going to focus on that if I have. So I hope you can see there is actually a knot between each bead, and I'll show that to you better when we're down on the bench. But pearl knotting. So I'm going to reorient the camera so I can film the knotting process. I'm also going to show you a couple of different knotters. I'll show you the knotting board I use a lot, and there's a couple of different tools that you can use to pearl knot, so I'll show you those really quick. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay folks, hold on, let me get my seat here. And you can hear the kids running around upstairs, so my apologies about that. Move these. These are just some earrings I made. Oh, and pardon my bloody thumb. I literally just broke this nail, and it broke down pretty far. So, okay. This is the pearl knotter I was just showing you that I'm going to use today. It's a Beadalon product. I don't get any endorsements from them. That would be really nice. However, yeah, okay. So this is what I'm going to use today, but I want to show you a couple of other things. So I think many of you have seen my knotting board that I use, and these are really nice and versatile. You can knot around the post. It has little clips so I can hold cord and beads and all kinds of stuff. So I use this a lot, and I'm going to give you a little sneaky peek of something here. This little glass button. This is a vintage glass button, 1930 or so, and we're gonna do a little pendant project with that. That should be tons of fun. Okay, So here's another Beetle On product. I do like Beetle On. They have some good tools. So any of you crafters, jewelry makers out there, check out the Beetle On stuff. And it's a little dusty, sorry, because I don't use it a lot. But it is good, especially if you're just learning how to knot. So there's a spring in here, and you can see the awl is tapered. And I will do a video at some point showing how to use this, but this is just another tool available to use. I'm trying to hide my bloody finger. I'm so sorry about that. Here's another knotter that I like using a lot. So it has this little button, so it has the post, and it has measurements here, which is really handy if you're doing a strand that you're going to leave a space in. So if I had wanted to do this strand where, say I wanted to do 5 beads and then leave a 1/2 inch space or an inch space, and then do another 5 beads and another 1/2 inch space, etc., etc., you can do that using this. So you'd start your knot, you tie your knot, and then you'd run it up so that one knot and the following knot is at the 1/2 inch or the 3/4 or the inch space, and it makes doing that type of knotting very simple. This is also one of my favorites. These two, and I use the board a lot, are probably my 3 favorite knotting tools to use. So I have one more that I want to show you that I do also use. This is a traditional pearl awl, A-W-L. It's a knotting awl. These are wonderful. I actually have kind of a hard time finding them. I have 2, but I can only find them from this one source, and they're great to have. This is a traditional pearl knotter, and you do have to be careful. If anybody out there finds one of these or wants to get into knotting and they decide to try a pearl awl or a pearl knotting tool, be very careful. These are so sharp. I have impaled myself more than once, and it hurts. So just be careful when you're using them, and always keep the little thing that comes to cover up the point. You don't want to lose that. You want to make sure you can always cover that up. So that's a knotting awl. See, very sharp, handle with care. Okay, so we're gonna get started using this. It's a great tool. Hopefully it is focused really well. I'm gonna try to show this to you a couple of times. Sometimes I have a hard time getting it to focus on if there's something else on the bench, and then I'm trying to hold something up here to get it to focus. It struggles, so I thought I would try filming this just like this. So here's your knotting awl. It is sharp and it's a little tapered, and I'm going to turn it again, pardon my thumb. Here's the fork that you put your cord in, and it's spring loaded. So you'll see that coming right up. Hold on. Okay. So I have the camera down here on my workbench. Hello, everybody. So here's the pearl knotter. And I can't see. Hold on, let me look up. I might want to change my lighting just a teeny tiny bit here. Okay. So this is a knotting tool. There's a post with a sharp point, and then this little fork, and it's on a spring. So let me show you what I've done so far. So this is knotted, and hopefully you can see there is a knot between each bead. And I also want you to see, lay this down. You see how if I lay it out straight, it almost looks as if it's a little wonky here and there. You want that. That means your knots are tight, because over time as you wear a knotted piece, it will stretch a little bit and relax, and you need to do your knots tight at the beginning, because as it relaxes a little bit, you don't want space. You don't want to stretch out too much here so that the bead can move. You want the knotting to stay right up against the beads. So at first they look a little janky, but over time, and you can relax it and tighten your knots a little bit and stretch, and it looks just right. Okay, so there's a knot here, and now I'm gonna just move a bead down. I've put the next pearl in place. Now you have to make a knot. It's literally just an overhand knot, but the way you make it is a little different, because you need the bead to stay on this side. You don't want it in the knot, and you'll see what I mean. So over my first two fingers, I just loop it over. Right, you'll end up with a little cross there, and you're gonna pull the tail through this hole right here, and you get a rhythm going with this. Once you understand the mechanics of making this knot, it becomes very easy. So now I have it stretched out on my two fingers, and you can see if I tight it, it's just an overhand knot. But you have to make sure the pearl's over here and not in the knot. From underneath, I'm gonna put the post through the loop, and I'm gonna pull it up until it's right up against the pearl, and then you take your cord and you put it in the notch of the fork, and you gotta hold it, and you have to apply some pressure. You don't want it slipping off, and you want your knotting tight. Now this post is tapered at the top, and you'll see what it does. So I'm going to hold pressure here, and I'm going to push up with my right thumb, and as I push up, it ties a knot. So it moves up the post, and you're pulling so it gets tight, and it's a little tapered, and this holds the knot up against the bead, the fork does, and you end up with a nice tight knot. And then you just move another bead down, make a knot. So you make your loop, you go in the loop, you grab the strand, pull it out. So you have it on your fingers like this. Put the post in. You want to make sure your cord is between the post and the fork, right? Pull your fingers out. Now, I put my finger on the post because I don't want the knot slipping off by accident as I'm pulling it up, because then you could end up with a knot somewhere up here on the cord, and if it's got any tightness to it, undoing the knot to fix it can be challenging. So I'm pulling down and I'm pushing up as I'm pulling down and towards me, and there we have a knot. Slide another bead down, and once you get used to doing this, you get into a rhythm. It moves along fairly quickly. There you go. And we'll do another one. Put it up through. You pull. Put it in the fork. Push it up. And there's your knot. Move the next bead down. Loop around your fingers. Go in to grab the strand. And I've got the strand, and I rotate my hand to open up the loop. I pull the strand through. I come from underneath. Make sure the cording is between the post and the fork. I hold it with my finger. I tighten the knot around the post. I loop it through the fork. I push up, and it tightens. I'll do this a few times for you guys. Make the loop, go in, pull it up, hold it with the index finger of my right hand, pull, push up, move a bead down. I go in, I made the loop a little bigger, I'll go in, I'll hold the knotting open with these two fingers, I pull the strand out, hold it with my finger, pull it, and push up. And that's how you purl knot using a knotter. This is a bead-along tool, and it's great. It's portable. It comes with this little black squidgy thing to put over this because this is very sharp. Very sharp. So you do have to be careful. And this will be a long piece. I love long necklaces. I think they're very versatile. When you're starting a long piece like this, see how I have this in here just tied up? If I didn't, this bead would fall off because you don't tie a knot to the right side of your end bead. Just like when I get to the end over here, won't tie a knot there with the knotter, because once I'm done knotting the rest of this, these two ends will literally end up getting tied together in an overhand knot. So this is a placeholder so this bead doesn't slip off. That's all that is. So I'll do it a couple more times, and then you'll see the finished product at the end of this video. Love you guys. Kiss and a peck and a hug around the neck. And I'll see you all soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.